Hello everybody, welcome back to another weather video. Today I'll be taking a look at our winter storm that is going to be affecting the central part of the country, then moving its way into the eastern, then northeastern part of the country. On your screen here is all your watches and warnings, and notice you have a wide swath of advisories that stretch all the way back into Minnesota, all the way back down into the northern part of Texas, and the pink here in Oklahoma is your winter storm warnings. And if we make our way to the east, you can see you also have more winter weather advisories in the mountains that stretch all the way down from the border of Tennessee and North Carolina into central part of New York and even in the most western parts of Massachusetts and Connecticut. And notice in this little bit of another color shade of blue, you have three shades of these, three portions of these that are both, two of them are on the lakes for what's going to happen after the storm, the lake effect, where you could see 1 to 2, maybe even more feet of snow. And northern Maine is just from this one system that's going to be affecting the central and eastern part of the U.S., where you could see maybe 6 or more inches of snow. If we take a look at the latest GFS here, this is as of 7 p.m. Eastern Time on November 14th. You can see why the winter storm warnings are in effect in Oklahoma. You have these deep shades of blue that are affecting parts of the state. And this is our winter storm as a whole. As of 7 p.m. November 14th, you can see where your rain and snow line, it's pretty much right here as of right now. And if we want to continue the next couple hours or so, you can see that storm slowly starts to dissipate, but on the western side, you still have some snow, and upper elevations in our mountain range, we do have, sorry, we still have a mix of rain and snow. But once it starts to transfer its energy to the coast, you can see central PA starts as snow and then goes over the rain as our storm makes its way towards the northeast. And then eventually, once it makes its way into the Gulf of Maine, it does start to strengthen a little bit more and produce more snow than rain in Maine, which is why they do have a winter storm watch in Maine compared to a winter weather advisory, because there is a better chance of them seeing 6 inches or more in that part of the country than it is in the rest. And notice you have your streams of lake effect here that stretch all the way back from western Michigan, northern Indiana, all the way back into our lakes in New York and PA and Ohio. This is where you will probably get your most snow. Definitely, I should say, get your most snow. 1 to 2 feet, maybe even more. As you can see, it lasts for days here. It doesn't switch wind directions till Saturday night, and this starts pretty much, I would say, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That's when it starts, and it's just continuous with cold air. And then once this cold front passes by Monday, Sunday night into Monday, you get another round of lake effect. So I would not be surprised if some places end up with more than 2 feet, maybe closer to 3 feet than 2 feet. And if we want to switch to our snowfall totals on the GFS here, which I do not think it's far enough out for the total length of the lake effect, but you could see, according to the GFS, let me just switch this real quick. According to our GFS here, let me back it up a little. This is from our first round, our winter storm. Your 4 inch plus are in this light shade of purple here that stretch in Maine, and then portions of New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, higher elevations. And then in our mountain range on the border of West Virginia, Virginia, you could see 4 plus as well. And if we want to continue to get most of the lake effect, if that's just the first round of lake effect here, you can see 24 plus right by Buffalo and right by Watertown. You already have a foot plus, and then you have another round of this. Let me see if I can pull up the Canadian and see. Oh my god. Yeah, you could see it gives out ridiculous numbers here for the lakes, which is definitely a possibility the way it is shaping up as of right now. If you want to believe the Canadian world, it does give you just south of Buffalo 50 inches of snow. So yeah, this is definitely a real possibility. As crazy as that sounds, this is definitely a real possibility due to how long this is going to last for. If you want to take a look at the 12Z European here, the 18Z is not in yet, but it has all the storm and the lake effect snow. You can see that it does give more snow than the GFS. Our 2-inch line is in this light blue right here that stretches all the way from western central-ish New York all the way back into Maine. And notice how in Maine and northern Vermont, New Hampshire, you have this purple then pink color that's 6 to 8 plus. In the pink, it is 10 plus. So in the higher elevations, we will definitely get more snow than, let's say, in the lower elevations compared to the higher elevations. And if we want to take a quick look at what the European does with our lake effect here, you can see by Watertown it is roughly 10 inches plus, and by Buffalo it is around, I would say, definitely a foot plus. Here I will zoom in just for Buffalo since I can. Yeah, it is definitely a foot plus, and this almost whitish color, getting to that white color, is 2 feet plus just south of Buffalo. And if we want to quickly switch to the GFS to see what it does, it also has a ton of snow. If this were to verify, this is nearing 3 feet of snow, 34, 36 inches of snow. And if we want to quickly switch to Canadian, it gives more than 3 feet of snow right by Buffalo. And I don't want to forget about Watertown because they will also be experiencing this. I don't think the Canadian has Watertown, sadly. Wow, none of them have Watertown. All right. I will back out of this real quick. Let me switch to New York and get a nice little close up. According to the GFS, oh my god, you did not just see that, but according to the GFS right by Watertown, it is 17 to 2 feet of snow pretty much according to the GFS. And if we want to quickly switch back to European, around the same thing. 15 to 20 inches according to the European, and back to the Canadian, if you want to believe it, right by Watertown, it also has 3 feet plus of snow, believe it or not. Now, this is my snowfall map as of November 14th. I don't plan on changing this unless something drastic changes, more cold air gets involved, the storm is stronger, anything like that, then I will change my snowfall map. But anywhere in this light blue, that stretches anywhere from central PA all the way into the most southeastern part of New Hampshire, then stretching its way into Maine and back by Buffalo, is our coating to 2 inches of snow. Anyway, in this little bit darker shade of blue is 2 to 4 inches, up to 5 inches in higher elevation spots in that area. That stretches anywhere from Syracuse and Watertown all the way back into Maine. And then our purplish color is our 5 plus range that stretches anywhere from most northern parts of New York into the northern part of Maine, except extreme portions of northern Maine. And notice these two red boxes I have here. After the storm passes, as I just showed, there will be long-lasting lake effect that could set up. Maybe 2, 3 feet, maybe even more in spots due to our snow ratios, elevation, and of course our long-lasting lake effect. Now there is this with lake effect. There's a lot of uncertainty. It all depends how it sets up, the wind direction, and how cold it is when it does in fact snow. So there's a lot of variations that could go into this. It is very hard to predict lake effect snow. So pretty much anywhere in that red box, both of those areas by Watertown and Buffalo, expect at least a chance of having 1 to 2 feet plus of snow from lake effect. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all had a great Monday, and I will see you soon.